Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for this opportunity to present Tyranna Resources to you. Tyranna Resources is a gold explorer and a developer with two gold projects in Australia, one in Western Australia, one in South Australia, and a cobalt project that we've recently acquired in Nevada, about 50 kilometres southwest of Las Vegas. There's the disclaimer. Just from a corporate perspective, our board is made up of a chairman, a well-credentialed chairman in Australia. He's the chairman of Saracen Minerals, which produces about 200,000 ounces of gold plus. That's a $3 billion market cap company, and also on the board of Independence, which is about a $4 billion market cap company. I've worked with Jeff before. I myself am a CPA with about 20 years of experience in the mining industry, mainly with production. Nick Ravel, who's here at booth 41 with me, a geologist, mine geologist with more than 25 years experience. And lastly, Joe Pinto was our chairman and our largest shareholder. He's now number 3 shareholder, and he's a lawyer, a strong backer. So the registry, I know all of the top 5 there. They're all more than shareholders, they're also stakeholders. Central Iron Ore, we bought a gold project from them in August, and Alliance Resources we're in joint venture with, and Ian Gandel, who's quite a wealthy property developer in Australia, runs Alliance Resources, and Admark is one of our directors, and then the number 4 and number 5 vendors of the cobalt project that we just bought. And we've got about $3 million of cash and liquid investments. We've got investments in 2 ASX listed companies, Orinoco Gold and Kairos Minerals. I'm on the board of Kairos, and Nick Ravel's on the board of Orinoco Gold. So I'll just focus on the Jumbuck Gold Project. Jumbuck's Australian, or it's Aboriginal for sheep, and it sits on the Commonwealth Hill Sheep Station, the second largest sheep station in Australia. And our tenements in the red and blue there surround the Challenger Gold Mine. And we control about 10,000 square kilometres of ground. And the Challenger Gold Mine was founded in May 1995, and it sparked, because this all sits on the Gawler Craton, on the northwest portion of the Gawler Craton, and this sparked the Gawler Craton Gold Rush. So a company, for example, like Helix, if you had shares in Helix, your share price went from 5 cents to like $4. And so about $20 million of exploration has been sunk in this area. But after they found the Challenger Gold Mine, the operators at the time, Dominion and Resolute, focused solely on Challenger, and the other ground that you see there in the blue and the green were subject to a joint venture. And really, we believe that there's got to be another 1 million ounce deposit there. So Challenger's produced more than 1 million ounces since 2002, and over the last 3 years we've been active in the area. We've spent about $6 million drilling. We've proved up 320,000 ounces. Up until recently, we're about to convert, not quite sure which one's a pointer, oops, that's it. Yep, great. So I think that's the pointer. Yeah, so we were planning to bring this into, convert these from an exploration licence to a mining lease, to truck that to the Challenger Gold plant. Unfortunately, our joint venture partner went to administration. So at the moment, we are talking to the receiver, and our goal here is to make a 1 million ounce discovery, but also one of our goals is to bring these into production. So this is an opportunity for us that we're exploring at the moment. So just a little bit of background. This open pit here, the Challenger open pit, when they mined this, it was lucrative enough to pay for the whole capex for this operation. After that, they were better able to explore for the underground. The underground goes down for 2.5 kilometres, and they've been drilling 2 years, 3 years of reserves ahead of themselves for the last 13 years. And you'll see as I go along that we've got some satellite deposits here that could eventually become 1 million ounce deposits. So there's potential here to have an operation that could last for the next 10 years. So Campfire Bore sits to the north, about 40 kilometres from Challenger, and we've just finished a drilling program at the moment. You can't see the drill results there, but we're moving this more from the inferred to the indicated category, and this was planned to go into a mining lease, and we were talking to WPG Resources about toll treating this. And then either side, so there's Campfire Bore. Either side of Campfire Bore are these two other gold deposits. Now we've optimised these, and what you see here are block models. We've got a resource of about 320,000 ounces. When we optimise that, so when we apply economics to that, we get about 75,000 ounces between 2.2 to 2.5 grams per tonne gold, and that means that that's profitable enough to go to the plant and supplement the underground mine at Challenger. So it's important to note here that this area is full of cover. So it's not like you've got gold coming up close to the surface. There's about 20 to 30 metres of cover, and that puts off junior explorers because it can be quite expensive. However, we've developed some techniques. We've spent a bit of money on research and development, and we've found some. We've progressed further exploration here in terms of gold in calcrete, and part of that effort was the discovery of this gold deposit here, the Greenwood gold deposit. So this was the first time in 18 years that a discovery was made in this area. So that there contributes towards our production profile as well going forward. So that's Greenwood. What I'll do, I'll segue into this, our new acquisition. What the idea here was to expose our shareholders to the battery minerals revolution. We looked at a couple of projects. Compared to our Australian land holding, this is quite cheap to hold. The tenements that we have are the blue tenements here, and they cost about $60,000 US to hold per annum, which is quite cheap. These are BLM claims. So the project sits about 50 kilometres south of Las Vegas. And this mine here, the Whale mine, we could drive right up to it and walk up to it. And so the access is fantastic. Now what you have here is you've got some lead zinc and some copper gold that has been mined by privateers during World War I, World War II. There was a central process plant here. So they were feeding into this central process plant. When the process plant shut down, all these mines were mothballed. So there's another ASX listed company called New World Cobalt here in the pink, and then another ASX listed company just bought this mine here, the Highline mine. There's a company here called Soloro, which plans to list on the NASDAQ, and there's another company called Renaissance down here. So we quite like it. It's cheap. We've done some soils here and some stream sediment sampling. We found a hotspot near this place here called the Whale Mine, and over here as well we plan to do some 3D induced polarisation next week, starting next week. Now I'll just go back to gold. So Tyranna focuses on gold, and we bought this mine in August. This is about 50 kilometres north of Kalgoorlie. There's Kalgoorlie, there's the Eureka gold mine, and this was in production in the late 80s. It produced about 30,000 ounces of gold, and since then not much has been done in this area. We were planning a cutback here, but while we were in the process of buying this, it was being mined. So this is mining that happened in May. And you can see the ore body there, it's pretty obvious. And so they mined this down as far as they could go, and then we took possession of this in August, and we're conducting a drilling program right now. We're drilling this out, and there's the drill rig there which drilled these holes, this fan of holes, and the drill rig right now is in the pit drilling this. So what we plan to do is underground on this and take this out. And this mining operation here in May was processed in Kalgoorlie. So they mined this, trucked it 50 kilometres to Kalgoorlie. We plan to do something similar as well. We've actually had interest from other mills in the area. So we should get results from this drilling towards the end of November, and then subject to that, we'll commission a feasibility study, and then that'll lead us to a decision to mine. We plan to be able to put this into production mid next year. So this is our business on a page. There's a Jumbuck Gold Project. We control about 10,000 square kilometres of ground. We're in joint venture with Alliance Resources. We've entered a project into Kairos Minerals. We're now number 2 shareholder. Eric Sprott's the largest shareholder there. That investment's doing well for us. we've got some shares in Orinoco Gold. We bought this gold project, and then also we've got some diversification here with the base metals project as well. We're an active explorer, quite active. And so in the next 4 months, you'll see some results come out with our induced polarisation survey, which basically will throw out some drill targets for us. We plan to drill the Good Springs project early next year. We've just finished this drill program at Campfire Bore at Jumbuck, but we're talking to the receiver now about that. So there's a potential there for us to be in line to acquire the plant there, and which provides us with a production solution for Jumbuck. And also we've got results coming out for Eureka as well. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.